We're back!
Hey guys, and welcome to another Dose of Candor with Jay and Lee. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, we're touching on a few different topics. So our last episode, we talked about the methods that therapists themselves use to kind of cope with things. And then so today we're actually going to be talking about introverts. Because there are 4 different types of introverts, according to
Wikipedia
professionals.
Wikipedia.
So, well, and I think it's funny though, because reading through the article and everything, I kind of feel like both of us have some of the characteristics of all 4. So yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so there are social introverts, thinking introverts, anxious introverts, and restrained introverts. So, yeah, and it's funny because like, it's like, yes, you know, that moment where you like get home just to relax, you know, and be by yourself, and how it does feel different when you're home alone. I know you know that because you have 3 siblings at your house with you. So I know you like it when it's nice and quiet. So it pretty much says like if you're a homebody or you enjoy the quiet, you really love your personal time, you're probably an introvert. In other words, you basically recharge by spending time alone and prefer those settings. Yeah.
I mean, I was even telling you, I like, especially at nighttime for me, because I like it when the house is so peaceful and so quiet.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. So let's dive into what a social introvert is. So pretty much, when we're talking about introverts in general, we're thinking of someone who's usually pretty shy in social situations, but that's not a social introvert. So for social introverts, the introvert part is more about preferring smaller groups and people you know over going to larger gatherings with people you don't know.
You know, I'd rather like hang out with just me and one other person.
Yeah. So this person says, I'm okay with largish groups, but I find it a lot, particularly if I don't know the people, as I'm never quite sure what to do. If it's with people I know, I'm fine. Or if I have a job to do, I'm fine. But socially, it's a bit different and awkward. So those people tend to usually avoid big events. And then, you know, they kind of have to talk themselves up when they have to do something like that. So
is that the part that reminded you of us?
Yeah, for this one, where we would prefer smaller gatherings. Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't even prefer a smaller gathering. I don't know. Like, especially, it's funny because, like, during football games, when I would go with that, like, one of my friends. We would look at each other, and she'd be like, yeah, let me text my mom. I don't know. Maybe it's because we both just don't like that big of an interaction. Because, like, even when it came to the fair, we were, like, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. It's like you wanted to go to enjoy the fair, but then it was, like, way too crowded. Yeah. Well, they said so therapists are saying that signs of social introversion include preferring the small gatherings, enjoying solitary activities, and not feeling lonely when you're hanging out by yourself. And that's what people actually ask me a lot. They're like, they worry because they're like, oh, like you're alone. Cause you know, I don't date or anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but you're probably so lonely. And I'm like, actually, no, I quite enjoy my own company.
Right.
The next one is, feeling drained after extended social interactions or needing time to recharge after, even when you've had a fun time. So kind of like your football game stuff, you know, and then of course, this is a big one.
See, but that's after we hang out sometimes too. I'm like, I feel like I need to recharge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I feel like because we spend a lot of time together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like even if it's just like on the phone, but I feel like especially when it comes to filming like podcast episodes, we spend a lot of time together.
I know. Well, it's funny because like you've told me that I'm one of the only people that doesn't drain your social battery.
Yeah, but it's like, once I'm by myself, I'm like, that was really fun. but I think it's me time now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of me time. I've even told you, I'm like, girl, I need my me time. I need to get off here.
Right.
Now, this one's a really big one, though. Preferring to communicate via text or online. So, like, not talking on the phone with people. So I think I'm like that. I would prefer not to like be active on the phone.
Yeah, but you don't like texting people either. Because we'll be on the phone and she'll be like, oh my God, this person texted me. I don't want to talk to them. I'm like, so don't talk to them. She's like, yeah, but if I...
Then I feel guilty though.
But the thing is I taught her how to read someone's text messages without opening the thing and having like seen that. Because like on Facebook
I just
Messenger,
turned all my read receipts and stuff off. Yeah, but no, I changed my Facebook Messenger things to where it shouldn't even show I'm online even when I am. And it kept showing I was still.
Yeah, I would send her screenshots and be like, girl, your active status is on.
And then I would send you screenshots showing where I turned it off.
Right. Or we would be on the phone. I'm like, it says you're active 16 minutes ago, even though she'll be like currently on Facebook. She's like, it's supposed to be off. I was like, yeah, well, it's a good thing I told you before someone you don't want to messages you.
I know, because I like, even though I get to those points where it's like I don't want to talk to certain people because I just can't, I do feel guilty.
Oh, I don't.
It's just like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but leave me alone.
I do, but I don't. I mean, because there's times where we're on the phone and I'll even tell you, well, actually, no, I'll say it out loud. I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone because someone texts me.
Okay, so what this next portion of this for the social introverts, this is what therapists advise for social introverts. So they recommend social introverts engage in small gatherings where they can connect with a few people at a time and to schedule downtime afterward to recharge. But yeah, so that's kind of an easy way to deal with that. So don't let societal pressure make you feel like solitude is a flaw. It is a strength. So it's okay to say no to events that feel draining to you.
See, my thing is I feel so bad when I tell someone like I can't hang out or I don't want to hang out. Well, I don't ever tell them I don't want to hang out. I'm just like, oh, I'm busy with me time. But no, I feel bad when I tell people like I can't hang out or something.
Yeah.
No, but when in reality sometimes I can hang out. It's just I need myself.
Yeah. No, even at my age, I feel guilty sometimes and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm busy. I can't," even though I'm really not busy.
Right.
Okay, so the next kind of introvert is the thinking introvert. And yeah, so this person says that she thrives when she's left to her own thoughts. So she prefers like daydreaming and thinking to keep her from feeling overwhelmed and depressed. So she says that she feels the most herself when she's reading, learning about interesting topics, or taking her own like mental health time or spirituality time. And she deliberately finds pockets of time in her day to do creative things. So this person actually likes to pull out tarot cards and stuff. So wow, she's really spiritual.
I don't know what tarot cards are.
But so
is it those cards that can predict your predict your future, like, people say?
Yeah. So signs of thinking introversion, according to therapists, include frequently daydreaming or fantasizing, engaging in deep reflection, being highly introspective and self-aware, enjoying solitary activities that are creative or engage the mind. So this is like writing, painting, or doing puzzles, like puzzling. I know you like to write. So that's what I was like, journaling. Okay, yeah. Finding yourself lost in thought during conversations. I'm kind of bad at that sometimes.
See, I think something that helps me is the block basket, even though sometimes it makes me really mad. But like block basket, it's like an own little puzzle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. And the last one for that one is feeling overwhelmed in fast-paced discussions. So that's...
Girl, I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes you talk so fast that it makes me so overwhelmed that it's like, what did you just say?
There are times where you're like, wait.
But
you're using big words or you're talking too fast.
Yeah, but there's sometimes like where you'll sit there and explain to me, but you'll still sit there and explain it to me fast, and I'll just be like, yeah, like I understand, but because I'm too embarrassed to ask you to explain it again.
No. So this is what therapists advise for thinking introverts. So they say that finding a happy medium is key. They recommend finding a balance by allowing for social interaction that does not compromise their need for solitude. So that might look like going on a trip with a couple of friends and scheduling independent time even during the trip. They even suggest scheduling creative and reflective activities, practicing mindfulness, and sharing your insights with others while doing things on the trip together. But they do say to make space for your imagination and realize that it is a gift and not to be afraid to share your ideas with others.
Yeah, I remember going to St. Augustine with my aunt and her fiance and my uncle, well, technically my uncle, and like all of my cousins. And I remember by the end of the trip, I was like, I'm ready to go home. Well, because the thing is the car broke down on our way back because we stopped at the beach and we sat there for like hours. First of all, I got an amazing tan from that. But no, the car broke down and we were on the side of the road until like 11 o'clock. We didn't get home until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Dang.
And I had school the next day.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This was during 7th grade.
Yeah, oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it is nice to have times of reflection and to have, your downtime. I like doing puzzles. That's something that my kiddos like to do as well. But yeah, sometimes you just need that quiet time. Oh, the anxious introvert is next. So why'd
you look at me when you said that?
Well, this one's interesting to me. Okay, so this person, they're actually a personal trainer, and she says that she leaves social situations feeling really drained, beating herself up, and analyzing everything that she said. So as a result, she struggles to go to social events in the first place. I resonated with this because I'm like, oh my God. So what that looks like is spending the hours leading up to an event, convincing yourself that you should go, worrying about the interactions and feeling as though you could find a reason to back out. So she said that she found the best way to handle it is to learn to simply manage it by telling herself that once she's there, she'll have a ton of fun, which she said is pretty much always the case.
It's so funny because the first part is literally me being like trying to find a reason not to go, except it's you saying you'll have so much fun when you go.
I do tell you that all the time. I'm like, no, you should. You need to go.
But that's because I don't ever get out, and I feel like you definitely push me to go out more.
I do, yes. Yeah. Well, especially at your age, you're so young. You need to like get out, enjoy, have fun.
I'd rather sit at home in my bed watching my TV.
I get it. I know. I was like that as a teenager too. I was like, no, I don't want to go to a party.
Well, yeah, because that's why when my brother was like, asked my mom, would you be mad if we snuck out to go to a party? And she's like, yeah, because my mom's the type of person like I'll bring you there and I'll pick you up, obviously as long as you're not doing anything stupid. But I was like, I went to like one like high school party because obviously I went to that Halloween party and there was a bunch of like high schoolers there, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
just a bunch of dumb teenagers drinking.
I never really got the party scene.
No, I never really got the whole hype of like, oh my God, like high school party. I'm like, no, it's just a bunch of stupid high schoolers trying to drink, and I'm not that type of person to sit there and go out and get drunk as a teenager.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the signs of an anxious introvert, according to therapists. So, the first one is feeling nervous or self-conscious before or during the social events. Then that next one comes avoiding or dreading social interactions due to a fear of embarrassment or judgment. I'm like so guilty of some of these.
That's what I'm saying when you're describing it.
I know. The next one is overanalyzing past social encounters or replaying social interactions in your head. Dear God, that's me. Feeling more comfortable in familiar environments or with trusted people. Yes, please. Or hesitating to approach new people.
You know, I think that's another reason trusting people, having around. I think that's why my mom trusts me over here, even going out with you guys. Like when we went out and like went to Planet Fitness and everything.
We're boring.
No, That's not what I said. Like, she can trust you guys and you guys wouldn't let me do anything stupid.
Yeah, no, not here.
Not about that life here. And I wouldn't want to do anything stupid over here either.
Well, let's see what therapists advise anxious introverts like myself. We are encouraged to gradually expose ourselves to social situations. Maybe you go to an event, but don't stay for long. Bring a friend with you or find a smaller hangout. Finding safe spaces or supportive individuals can empower you to engage socially at your own pace. They also recommend therapy to address anxious thoughts, feelings, and self-compassion, which will help with any negative self-talk.
Yeah, I tend to overthink things that I say a lot.
I do too. I'm always afraid. Like, I like to be very diplomatic. So, like, I'm always worried if someone
took something in the wrong way.
Yeah, took something the wrong way or gets offended or, and it's like, and I think that's why I prefer being around people I know, because then I don't feel like I'm constantly having to like check myself or filter myself, even though I'm not someone that does offend people. I just always worry. And in today's world, I just always worry.
Because you'll say something and like to me and you'll be like, no, I did not mean it in that way. And I'm like, yeah, I know you did not mean it in that way at all.
But yeah, so this person says, just to like reframe a thought. So it says your brain is just trying to protect you, even if it overdoes it sometimes. So even if you're overthinking, it's a good thing. It's yourself trying to protect yourself.
No, it is so funny when you're like, no, I didn't mean it in that way. It's like in my head, I'm like, who hurt you so much to the point where like now you're like saying, no, I didn't mean it in that way.
You apologize all the time. That's actually a victim symptom of narcissistic abuse, which I went through with my ex-husband.
Yeah.
Like people who apologize all the time. I learned that is something that victims do from that abuse. And I'm like, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm like, that makes sense now. Okay. So it's weird. Like a lot of
sometimes it does confuse me when you apologize for something. I'm like, you didn't do anything.
I know.
Like, you're like perfectly fine. And like, you didn't even do anything. You're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Oh. Well, and the thing is like, my kids would even come back from their dad's house and apologize for things that like weren't even like
big deal.
Like a big deal. Yeah. Like, one time my youngest got a drink out and was drinking it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I see you already got yourself a drink. So I was getting them a snack or something. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what are you apologizing for? And he's like, oh, because I got the drink without asking. And I'm like, I buy the drinks for you to drink them. Like, that's not, but I get it because they go through the same stuff I went through before the divorce. So I get it. Okay, so our last type of introvert is the restrained introvert.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm scared for this just by the name of it.
Yeah, the restrained introvert. So it's also known as inhibited introvert. So they say that, the first word that comes to mind for this guy is exhausting. The reality is that restrained introverts have to force themselves to walk in unnatural territories every day at work and even play. If there is a sudden or unexpected change in a plan to go out socially, I need time to mentally prepare. Oh, I get that. I get the time needing to mentally prepare. So it says in those settings, they express themselves verbally. So they'll typically share their thoughts and ask someone directly for kind of like instructions or something. Yeah. So signs of restrained introversion, according to therapists, include preferring to observe groups, especially before participating in them. Oh, I get that. 2, needing time to feel comfortable in a new group or taking time to warm up to people. I do that when I'm hanging out with new people. I just kind of like observe and listen, I kind of hang back. I don't really like jump in there. I kind of like try to get a feel for the vibe of everybody, Then you've got disliking the feeling of being put on the spot.
Why'd you look at me?
Because that's totally you. Being reserved in group settings, taking time to make decisions and respond to questions, acting or responding carefully and methodically, preferring to think before you act. I get that. I think that's why I try to be so diplomatic, valuing deliberate routines and predictability, feeling markedly more relaxed after social interactions end. Oh yeah. Like you're like, okay, it's done. I can go home and go to bed now, get in my pajamas. And then the last but not least, preferring planned events over last minute invitations. I can see that. That way you have time to mentally prepare and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I feel like some of those things are targeted.
I know, right? I told you, like, I feel like we can both kind of resonate with all 4 of these types.
Yeah.
Here or there.
I feel like I do have to socially prepare before I go. See, that's why I don't really like making plans early in the morning. Besides, like, if we're filming the podcast, like, on a weekend or something, it's like, okay, that's like...
Yeah.
We have all day to film if we want to. But I'm talking about, like, going out and stuff. Because obviously my friends like to invite me to Sunsplash. And I'm like, I feel like that's just so emotionally draining. Don't get me wrong. I would love to, like, hang out with my friends. But I'm like, Sunsplash does not sound good right now. I'm like, I'm going to be so exhausted and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's such a crowded place, too.
Yeah.
That you do have to mentally prepare yourself.
It makes me feel so overwhelmed being there, too.
Yeah. I get that. Well, this is what therapists advise for restrained introverts. So they're saying that they encourage you to take situations at your own pace, embracing the beauty of thoughtful living. Your pace is just as valid as anyone else's pace. So surround yourself with people who appreciate your thoughtfulness and don't push you into quick decisions. They also suggest recognizing the value of your thoughtful contributions first to help build your confidence into going into those situations. So they say that being cautious is also a form of being intentional. So when used the right way, it can be a strength and help boost your confidence. But yeah, so they're just saying basically, don't let the idea of communicating your needs be scary. And I guess not to just be so anxious.
That's me when it comes to communicating my needs. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to doctors, because my mom's like, well, I can't tell them what hurts. It's like not my body.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of doctors, if you can't tell.
Well, we did our Two Sick Girls episode where we kind of talked about our own personal health situations. Yeah. So I feel like you've gained more confidence. Yeah. I feel like you're more outspoken than you used to be, for sure. Yeah. But I can definitely tell where you still are like lacking the confidence to really like say what you really want to say in certain situations. Yeah. I can always like kind of tell, like I can see you kind of like restraining yourself.
You can tell?
Yeah, I can tell. But I think it's because I've seen you in so many different social situations, especially in that school environment with different people, like how you act with your friends versus people you don't know. Because remember, we would do group projects and I would always put kids with people that were not their friends, because it's like, no, like when you get out in the real world, you're going to have to do projects, at work with people you don't know. So you need to get comfortable getting to know other people and working together.
And you could tell?
Teachers see a lot. But yeah, so like I can tell even when you talk about like your health stuff and like your upcoming doctor's appointment and stuff, and you're like, I really want to say this and that, but I can see how like mentally, like it's like I can see your mind working. You know how sometimes you look at me and you're like, I can tell you're thinking about something serious right now? Like I can tell that about you too.
After this podcast, I would like to know more about this.
Can I tell you? Because I'm like, okay, you say you want to say this at your next appointment, but I bet you don't. Like about wanting your surgery.
Yeah. Which I say I'm going to at this upcoming appointment, because obviously my next appointment's at like the end of the month, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
Yeah, you said it was. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to tell them I want the surgery. And it's like, I don't know, if something on your face is like, no, she won't.
I don't think you will. I don't think you'll have the confidence to.
don't know.
I don't think
it's like what my mom says. I get social anxiety.
Yes. But guys, but another thing to remember though is that, you know, being an introvert is not a bad thing. Like a lot of these qualities
I think you're
are
like 50-50.
strengths.
You're an introvert, but you're also an extrovert.
Yeah, I can be. I mean, when I'm around the right people, yeah, when I feel comfortable.
I think I'm an extrovert.
You know, someone once told me that I'm an introverted extrovert. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
I don't know what I would be. I feel like I'm an extrovert.
No.
Really?
No. Extroverts are like very social.
Yeah, no, so I'm an introvert.
Like very, you know how you make fun of me when I talk with my hands? Like extroverts are very like, yeah.
So I'm an introvert?
Very like animated, very, you're an introvert for sure.
Oh. Okay.
But no, so... All right, well, guys, I think next time
I learned something new about myself today.
Well, hopefully a lot of people did. I did not realize there were 4 different types of introverts.
Neither did I.
And you know what? Honestly, there's probably even more.
That we just don't know about yet.
Exactly. But so that covers that topic. Now we do have another topic that we do want to cover. So this will be in our next episode. We're going to talk about how to answer the question of how you're fine or not fine if someone asks you. Cause okay. So you know how like you see someone, it's like, hey, how are you? And like
I'm doing okay.
They're not asking because they really want to know. They're just asking to be like, hey, what's up? You know,
right.
like, hello. And it's like, you know, you want to be like, okay, I know you're not really asking. So it's like, oh, I'm fine. And we know what fine means, right?
Not
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
What?
So that's a saying from a movie. So
I'm fine all the time.
When someone says I'm fine, it's the acronym is freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. So like people will say, oh, you know, I'm fine, even though they're not fine, and they might need someone to talk to.
Wow.
So we did want to cover that topic, and we might even, because there was an article about how to be a better friend. So if we have time, we might try to cover both of those in the next episode. But if not, you know, we'll get to there eventually.
I think I'm a good friend.
You are. You're a good friend.
Thanks.
But
you're a good friend too.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But go ahead, check out our website at adocpodcast.com, as well as our
social media, Instagram and TikTok, ADOC Podcast.
And then definitely check us out Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are releasing our episodes 3 times a week now. They will be available at 5
instead of randomly
every day.
We figured out a schedule, guys.
Yes. So we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.